Hey guys, Kanesha Morrison here. Welcome to episode 13 of Testify Tuesday. Testify Tuesday is a place where I just come and I share things that I've learned about life and just share my experiences with all of you. Today we're going to talk about mindset and money. It's one of my most favorite topics, my most favorite things to talk about, because at the end of the day, you need both to be successful. You need a positive mindset, but you also need to know how to positively have a healthy relationship with money. And I think that it's important to recognize that, because I sucked with money in all stages of life. Either I wanted to every red cent of it, or I completely spent it and spent every single dime that I had. So I really take this more seriously than I think the average person does, because I have an extremely unhealthy relationship with money. So why does money and mindset go hand in hand? How you manage your money is based off of the mindset that you have. If you grow up in a household that how money was the root of all evil and how money is greedy to want to have it, most likely you have a poor mindset around money. But if you was raised in a household that was a little bit more freer with it, and that would talk about how money was earned, but more evidence of it always being spent, more than likely you're going to have a mindset of always spending. So how do we have a healthy balance, and how do we begin to change our mindset towards it? Tip 1. I personally love acknowledging the error in the room. If there is something in the room, I call it out. So for me, writing everything down became really apparent for me on where my money went. Dave Ramsey refers to it as giving every dollar a name. So I found myself in 2010, I was looking to purchase my very first home. I was 19 years old. I didn't have much debt at the time, and I was looking to be able to buy a house. So I got really juiced up on Dave Ramsey, went through Financial Peace University, did it with my husband. We came out of it. I think we had maybe about $3,000 worth of credit card debt at that time. We paid it all down, paid off all our debt, and I was, so ecstatic, and we were able to purchase our first home. I purchased our first home by myself, no co-signer, no one helping me, 19 years old. So tip 2, number 1 was giving every dollar a name. Tip 2 is my mother set me up for success early on. She made me an authorized user on some credit that she had. So because of that, she set me up for life as a 19-year-old girl. I didn't have a car payment. I used my refund that year and purchased my car with cash. I paid off our credit card debt, and my mom added me as an authorized user on 2 of her really good outstanding cards. If someone adds you as an authorized user, all of their payment history becomes your payment history. So it was like I had been on her case the entire time that she had the card. So it shot me up to like a 610 credit score. And at that time, you only needed a 620 to be able to purchase a home. I paid off the credit card debt. So also increased my credit report, my credit score. So I was able to get that 620 that I needed. So I didn't go out and buy all new furniture. I was a 19-year-old kid. So all the things that we had in our apartment, we just moved it into our house and we made do with what we have. So tip 3, learning to be able to realize when you need to budget for money and when you need to make more money. So this is the biggest tip that I can offer when it comes to mindset and money. I learned as a 19-year-old girl that people do 2 things in life, and most people do the first thing that I'm getting ready to share. And send me some hearts if you are watching this Facebook Live, if you get some value out of this. If you are watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, and you're like, what is she talking about? every Tuesday, I actually record this podcast live on Kanesha Morrison. You are able to find me at www.facebook.com/lashes y'all. You can come and you can interact with me as I record this live every Tuesday. So I realize people do two things. They either budget their money or they earn more money. Fast forward 5 years down the line, we find ourselves getting back to where we were. We literally had ran all of our credit into the ground. We fell behind on some car payments, fell behind on a house that we owned. The house that we owned, we later moved and we rented the house. And when we rented, the tenant broke lease and we couldn't afford to pay where we were renting and our mortgage. So we just fell behind and it was a complete mess. And I'm so grateful to the business that I found where I was able to be home with my kids and pull us out of that financial debt. But I learned once we got out of the debt and fixed our credit, we rented a bigger house because we wanted to be able to purchase a second home. And I'm a firm believer in you test drive the car before you buy it. So we rented a house for almost 2 years of what our current mortgage is. So we wanted to know if we could afford the mortgage. So we test drove the vehicle by renting for a year. So when we moved to that rent house, we lived on a lake and we had a 4-car garage, and it was just, the house was sick. We really loved it. It was the first time that we were able to just live freely without budgeting every dollar, and that was the biggest mistake that we did. So when we moved to this lake house, I realized, talking to some of my neighbors, most of them did not talk about budgeting their money. They budget their salary. They knew where every dollar went, but their main focus was increasing the income. Everything doesn't have to be budgeted. If you want to travel, set a budget for what you want to spend for traveling, and then pick up a side hustle or a delivery gig or something on the side on top of your regular job to be able to pay off that debt faster, travel the world, buy what you want, do what you need. But I really learned that everything doesn't have to be budgeted. Some things you just have to increase your income. And I can tell you this, tip 4, when I increased my mindset that I was worthy of more, having to cut back and sacrifice became less than. When you are used to be poverty stricken and having low income and scarcity mindset and scraping to get by, you will really cause yourself to sacrifice this for that. So you will sacrifice cable for this. You will cut back on groceries for that, when really in essence we just need to give every dollar a name and increase our mindset to be able to receive more income. That was a huge aha moment for me when I was in this growth stage, because no one had quite done what I was aspiring to do in my family. So tip 5, know that your mindset is not going to be common. When you get to a place where you can earn more income and you know that you're worthy of more income and you are willing to put your mindset where your money is, you're going to come across to your friends as family as strange, as braggy, as over materialistic. They're going to tell you that you have a greed, and it's simply because their mindset is not where yours is. And if you're on Facebook watching live, feel free to send me some stars in this if you are getting any value out of this, because I truly want to know, where do you stand on this? I would love your reviews. Comment below in the comment sections on the podcast or on the live. What has been some money poverty-stricken thoughts that you have had, and how have you been able to overcome them? Because I know I was very lonely when it came to learning that I'm going to be different and I'm going to have to be okay in that. So I became a notorious giver. I'm really big on giving in private, but I celebrate a lot public. I'm not big on buying designer handbags and designer shoes, but people know that I love to travel. I'm always somewhere, always doing something. I have 5 kids and I take those kids with me. So please know that point number 6, the way you spend your money, know that it is your money to spend. And you have to know that it is completely okay. The way you spend it and the way that you do it is completely your way, your method. There is no right or wrong to your money. And people are going to talk about it. They're going to judge it. They're going to think you should have did this. Going to think you should have did that. And it's simply because they don't have what you have. They don't have grit and they don't have guts to go out there, increase their income, and truly live the life that they want. Because every single day, people fall into routine. They get up, they go to work, they do the same things every single day. It takes someone of bold adversity and to be, and truly being courageous to be able to stand up and say, I am ready for more. I am worthy for more. And getting around people that are smarter than you. That's my last tip for you. Tip number 6. I didn't know being in a certain income bracket meant certain tax write-offs. I didn't know if starting my own business, I would be able to do this. I started asking questions without being nosy, right? You don't want to ask somebody how much money do they make, but you can ask someone, what did you do to get to where you are? That is what I need you to know, because success leaves clues. And if they can give you 1 or 2 points that worked for them, and then you tweak it and make it work for you, that is mastering your mindset. Know that you are going to run into places that it's unfamiliar. And when you walk across unfamiliar territory, it's going to cause you to be uncomfortable. It's going to cause you to want to retreat. Thank you so much, Ms. Stokes, for the stars. Just because you retreat, know that you want to be able to come back out to the spotlight. You want to be able to put yourself back out there again, because becoming uncomfortable is what is going to take you to that next level to be where you want to be. So I challenge you with this. If you are looking for a way to pay off some debt, travel the world, buy the house, buy that dream car, buy the designer bag, whatever it is that is in your heart, write down how much money do you need to obtain it. Divide that by 30 days. That gives you how much you need to sell each day to be able to have enough money to do what you need to do. This is not about sacrificing or scarcity. We don't want to have lack of. We want an abundance type of thinking. So instead of cutting back, challenge yourself to earn more. Because when you earn more and you learn more, you can give more. If you got anything out of this, feel free to hit the hearts, hit the share button, send some stars, and I will catch you guys on the next Testify Tuesday.